Well, my draft notice arrived in the mail yesterday. I'm angry, but I knew inevitable. Oh well. I think you'd look so handsome in a uniform. I asked mom if she'd help me escape to Canada, but she wasn't much help. I'm gonna keep at it. What did Johnson say again? I will not send American boys 8 or 10,000 miles to do a job that Vietnamese boys ought to be doing for themselves. Look, I hate the commies as much as the next guy, but this isn't our war to fight. The last thing I want is to die in some jungle in buttfuck nowhere on the other side of the world because President Johnson's ego is too big to end this war. I'll try to convince Dad about the Canada thing. He's as anti-war as they come. If not, I may have to take matters into my own hands. Well, I just arrived at basic training. I can't say that I'll enjoy it, but I can say this. Our dress uniforms are sharp. I'm sure these will help me pick up girls. You know what they say, women love a man in uniform. I've also made a new pal, Private Rowley Jefferson. I noticed he seemed a little nervous, so I kinda took him under my wing. Jefferson may seem a little clueless, but let me tell you, that guy can handle an M60 like no other. We did some combat exercise and under fire, Jefferson is one of the finest human beings in the world. All he needs is someone throwing hand grenades at him for the rest of his life. I'm telling you, nothing phases this guy. The drill sergeant was telling us about combat stress and shit, whatever, but Jefferson is a man of steel out there. Absolutely nothing distracts him from the mission at all. I can be the brain and he can be the brawn. I'm telling you, we'll be a great team. Well, looks like this is it. Boot camp is done. I'm off to Vietnam. I'm scared. I've heard how long the average lifespan of grunts over there is, but I've been trained well enough, and who knows, maybe I'll get lucky when I have to. And I've got Jefferson to watch my back. Plus, I met this girl during basics, so I know I have something to fight for. I get on a ship tomorrow at the crack of dawn. Maybe I can see her one last time. Good night, USA. Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam!
What are you smiling about, Private?
We went on our first patrol tonight. They say that war is like 99% waiting around and 1% actual fighting, and that is completely fine by me. Let me tell you, walking around the rice paddies at night is eerie enough without the threat of a bunch of rice farmers jumping out at you. Sergeant Morris told us all about it, how the gooks would always attack first, and then blend in with the civilians like the cowards they were. He told us that out here, everyone is an enemy until they aren't, and sometimes you have to go to the extreme, but that brass usually looked the other way. I, for one, do not like the idea of shooting civilians, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Come on, Rowley, just further up ahead. Greg, I'm tired. Why are we here again? Is that unpatriotism in your voice? You don't sound like an American boy. We were out on patrol one last night. Should have been a night like any other. Boy, was I ever wrong. I was looking down when it happened. One moment all we hear is the soft sounds of the jungle. The next night it's torn wide open by the screaming of those commie gooks and the roar of an RPK. Sergeant Morris was hit first, as the poor bastard absorbed the worst of the opening barrage. We tried to retreat to the tree line, but we were caught in the wide open. We were utterly fucked. I blindly fired my M16 into the trees and grabbed Private Jefferson and hauled ass back towards camp. Disoriented and under shock, I didn't think we'd make it, you know? I know it's not my fault, but yet, I wish I'd been more alert. Those gooks can sure plan an ambush. I have to give them that. Dealing with the ambush has been hard. Surprisingly, Jefferson has taken it especially hard. Keeps only to himself, gets jumpy, random mood swings. Oh, and the nightmares. The guy can't go 2 nights without him waking us all up at night, screaming about Sergeant Morris. I have to be honest with you, I think he's losing it. I don't blame him either. Seeing your friends in a pool of blood and guts isn't something the army tells you about when they're asking you to fight for Uncle Sam. I told Colonel Granger about Jefferson. Fucker says Jefferson is a pussy. That's the armory, I guess. Ah, Sergeant Morris, you can't touch my dick! I feel like it's only a matter of time before Jefferson goes ahead and offs himself. Damn shame, really. What else can I do? I don't know how much more Jefferson can take. I saw him at Chow yesterday, just sitting there, this deranged look on his face. Went to say hi to him, and he just kinda turned with this insane grin. Didn't even blink. He's gotten jumpy too. Tried to get into our tent last night and he beat my hand to a pulp. I'm telling you, he's gonna snap soon. When he does, it ain't gonna be pretty. At the very least, my fucked up hand got me a few days of R&R. Sure can't wait to get back in. It finally happened. I sustained my first combat injury. Command wanted us to take this godforsaken hill, despite our recon saying it was too well defended. What could go wrong? Napalm the shit out of it. Lob some artillery on those fuckers and roll in some tankers, right? Yeah. Sounds great until the air wing is tied up and the artillery needs to be resupplied. This place is a fucking mess. Whatever. We move in until we get pinned down and air support is unavailable. That's when the fucking goat nails me in the ass. You know, you get hardened seeing other people die, but getting shot yourself is a different story. Wanted to cry like a bitch. At least I'll be out of commission for a while. Getting some leave will be just what I need. Oh god. It was my last night in the hospital and I just wanted to walk around a little. Well, I'm just wandering around the complex when I hear this awful scream from down the hall. Look, I've done my time in combat and this wasn't like any scream I'd heard before. I peeked into the room and it hit me. You know that sticky orange shit napalm? Looks like the government is testing it on its own soldiers. I crept into the room and ducked out of sight. The moment the docs left, I grabbed as many files as I could and ran. I think we need to add more pepper. Lucky for me, I was hit at the end of my tour. I'll be at home in a few days and when I get back, I'm going straight to the New York Times. The Army will have my ass for this, but some things are worth going to jail for. Well, the feds finally caught up with me. Didn't take long for the grand jury to indict me for conspiracy against the United States and a bunch of other shit. All this really shows is that the government is really just legalized tyranny. People had the right to know. Next up comes my legal fight. My lawyer is good. He's dealt with the feds before. I've got a fair amount of public support too, but really, this goes to show how fucked up this whole situation is. Our boys are dying for no good reason in a pointless war, and I'm going to prison for exposing government lies? This isn't the America I fought for. This isn't the America Morris took 7 rounds into the chest for. And it sure as hell isn't the America Jefferson blew his brains out over. Oh damn, that nigga died? I've been locked up in federal prison for 3 years now. It sucks, but I stand by my actions 100%. Great son you got there, Frank! I only have one regret, and that is what I've put my family through. I know they stand by me, but I can't say that for everyone else. I know my dad's co-workers at the agency don't take kindly to leakers. I just wish that they didn't have to suffer because of the choices I made. Who knows? Public support of the war is at an all-time low. Maybe one day people will appreciate my sacrifice. Maybe they'll stop harassing my family. Maybe I'll even get a pardon. Until then, I want my story to be heard. I want Jefferson's story to be heard. I want Morris's story to be heard. People deserve the truth. This is Private First Class Greg Heffley, over and out.